Hi, I'm Jane from Poppy Patchwork, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make the chained star quilt block. I've drawn the block out in my Quilt Block notebook, and I've written out all the measurements. In this book you will get lots of blank pages, and I find it really useful for calculating the size of my pieces for the block. The odd and even Quilt Block notebooks are available to buy from Amazon. Scan the QR code to visit Amazon. I've just released my new book, The Quilter's Quick Reference Guide, with your favourite cutting charts and step-by-step instructions. The cutting charts include half square triangles, quarter square triangles, split square triangles, flying geese, corner squares, economy squares, half rectangle triangles and cat's cradle. Plus step-by-step instructions for making and trimming your units. Buy your copy today. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description. Now, let's get quilting. So we're going to start by making the 4 patches, and for this we're going to need strips in A and B, and also the squares, and the strips in C, and the other pieces we'll put to one side. So for this we're going to match a background with one of the colours. I'm going to do that twice, and we're going to repeat that with the other fabric. And then these squares are going to be joined together like this. So the first thing I'm going to do is join these right sides together and sew along the long edge. And these I'm going to join together in pairs, opposite fabrics together. So I'm going to take that to the sewing machine and sew with a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm now going to set and press the seams. And I'm going to press the seams towards the darker fabric. So with these pairs I noticed that they're not completely straight down one side, so I'm just going to trim this. So these two are going to be joined in a full patch like this, and because the seams were pressed towards the darker fabrics, these are going to nest together nicely. And now I'm going to subcut these. So the first thing I'm going to do is straighten up one side and then use that straight edge to subcut. And now I'm going to join these together. I'm going to make these into 4 patches like this. So I'm going to take those to the sewing machine and sew with a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm going to set and press the seams. So I'm going to set these to one side. So to make the 1/4 square triangles, we need the large squares in fabrics C and D, and I'm going to draw a diagonal line on the wrong side of the lighter fabrics. I'm now going to pin these right sides together with the other fabric. I'm going to take those to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch on both sides of that drawn line. So I'm going to remove the pins and then I'm going to cut along the drawn line. I'm now going to set and press the seams. And I'm going to press them towards the darker fabric. So on the wrong side of 2 of these, I'm going to draw a diagonal line, and the line is going to go across the stitched line. And then I'm going to match the and then I'm going to join these in pairs. So I'm going to lay them with opposite fabrics on top of each other, and the seams should nest together. I'm going to pop a pin in to keep them in place. and then at the sewing machine I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam on both sides of the drawn line. I'm now going to remove the pins and cut along the drawn line. So I'm going to trim these 1/4 square triangles, and I'm going to use my preferred method, which is to use the 6.5 inch triangle square up ruler by Quilt in a Day, and this method requires that you do not press them first, but you're going to need to use your preferred method to trim your 1/4 square triangles. And if you want to right mouse click on the link above, it will take you to my video on how to trim 1/4 square triangles with a standard ruler. So I'm now going to set and press those seams. So I'm going to clip the dog ears off, and then we're ready for block layout. So I've laid these out in block layout, and we're going to put them together as a 9 patch. So I'm going to do these in pairs and then pop these on the bottom of the columns. So I'm going to take those to the sewing machine and sew with a 1/4 inch seam. So I've returned these to block layout, and now I'm going to pin these bottom squares onto the columns. And again, I'm going to sew these seams with a 1/4 inch seam. So I've returned these to block layout, and I'm going to press the seams towards the 1/4 square triangles. So I've returned these to block layout. I'm just going to trim a couple of the sides to make sure that they're nice and straight. So when I'm trimming these, I'm lining the 1/4 inch line of the ruler on the point of those Ohio on the point of those quarter square triangles. So I've put these back into block layout, and now I'm going to sew this column to this column and then this column to this column. Now we do have points to match here and here, and if you want to right mouse click on the link above, it will take you to my video on how to get perfect points. This one's got very little. The point is very close to the edge there, so I'm going to make the best of it. If you have this happening, you may wish to redo the piece. I'm just going to see if I can fudge it a little bit. So I'm going to take that over to the sewing machine and sew with a 1/4 inch seam. So I've sewn those 2 seams and I've given it a good press. So congratulations, you have made the Chain Star quilt block. I hope you've enjoyed these videos, and thank you very much for all your support by downloading my patterns and buying my books. Bye for now and happy quilting!